How to grow carrot in a container, or how to grow carrot in a 5-gallon container. Hello everybody, welcome to 7 Savings Garden, where we talk about gardening, ways to save money, and other special events. So today I'm going to be showing you how to grow carrot in a 5-gallon container. So I'm using this 5-gallon container that I used last year for growing strawberries. That's why they have holes on the side. Don't worry about that. We're going to close the holes with paper before filling it with our potting mix. So you just need to make sure that the holes at the bottom of the container for drainage, like that. And now once you have holes, you can use drill or any other tool to make holes at the bottom. You want to make sure that it has good drainage, so that way the water doesn't stand inside the container. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill it up with our potting mix. I put a few styrofoam containers at the bottom there, just to occupy a little bit more space so that it doesn't take too much potting mix, since most of the roots are not gonna go that deep into the container because it's a 5-gallon container. It's very deep. So now we're filling it with our potting mix. I have a video that shows you how to make your own potting mix, cheap, good quality potting mix for container garden. So I'll see if I can put the links below, but if it's not below, check my other videos and you would be able to see how to make your own potting mix. So next, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we soak the potting mix, make sure it's completely soaked, so that way the mixture has enough moisture to help the seeds germinate once we plant the seeds. So once I fill it up like that, I'm just going to use a little hand tool to mix up the soil or the potting mix in there, so that way it's drains a little bit faster, then we can start planting. So, or you can just water it and leave it for 5 or 10 minutes. The water will drain and you should be able to start planting. So if the water drains very, very fast, you have a good mixture, which means water is not going to be standing in the container. So now what we're going to do is just level the top of the container. You want to make sure you fill the potting mix, the container, about 80 to 90% before planting, so that way later on, once if we need to add a little bit more compost or other stuff on top of the carrot when it's growing, we can definitely have space to add more. And it will also help for water to stand and collect before going down, so that way it gets good watering during the growing period. So now I'm gonna get my tool. You can just do it in a line, or you can just do it, spread it around the container. So I'll do some of them on a line, then a few others I'll just spread them around, because once the seeds germinate, you can definitely take out any extras, or if it's too compact, you can definitely pull out a couple of seedlings and then transplant it in another container or in the garden. Yes, you can transplant carrots if they're still very, very young. They're still very less than 2 weeks. You should be able to transplant it with no problem. So I'm just gonna spread them in a line like that, and then I'm just make sure that any other spaces that is left, I just sprinkle the rest of the seeds over there. Like I said, the spacings, you want to make sure it has enough spacing for the plants to grow, because once they grow, they're going to expand. So you want to make sure you give it ample space for it to grow. I'll say between 2 to 4 inches apart. So some of these, I'm going to have to take them out once they grow, once they germinate, since right now I don't know which what quantity of it is going to germinate. So now I'm just closing the rows that I made, just closing with my finger, and then I'm just going to water it now, just to give a mist. Not really serious watering, but you just want to mist it, soak the seeds and the topsoil. And that is it. So we're just gonna let it sit there in a warm area under the sunlight, and here we go. This is what we have now after about 3 weeks that we did this. They germinated, and I also took out some of the ones that were too close together. Fertilization. You want to fertilize the container with fertilizer, all-purpose fertilizer. If you have all-purpose fertilizer, I personally do compost tea. Compost tea is much better, and I do compost tea every 2 weeks, and I fertilize it with compost tea about every 2 weeks. Also, you want to make sure that you water it regularly. Since it's a container, the container can definitely dry out a lot faster than a garden bed or a raised bed. So make sure you keep an eye on watering. And the bigger the container, the less amount of watering you need to do. So just keep an eye on that, and hopefully that helps you out. Okay, that is it for today. I hope you liked the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to share. Thanks and happy growing.